I guess Nature Boy. Nature Boy, once again, welcome to the ride. Welcome to Ride Along. I see Eliana there as well. Guys, welcome to the ride. How you guys doing today?
Carbonation's in the building as well. It's good to be on your show again.
Yeah, we're back again. We're back again, Nature Boy. This time, boy, whoa. This time I think it's gonna be heavy. This time it look as if it's gonna be very heavy. Now we've been following I've been following everything that you have been doing from the time you were last here on the program up until this point. And I have to say, this one here, Nature Boy, this one here, I really need to talk to you further about this one. Tell us about your HIV challenge and why you're saying that HIV is a hoax.
All right, so I put the challenge out to bring up HIV awareness as far as being tested for HIV in the testing process.
Right.
A lot of people don't even understand where their immune systems are at. They don't even understand anything about their body. We have computers in our phone. We have a computer in our phone. We have computers in our pockets called our cell phones, but we're not using it to understand our health. We let other people do that for us. We let doctors, hospitals, the European diagnose us and, basically educate us about our own body. Most people fear it because they don't understand it.
Right.
And so I was accused recently of having HIV. So I said, okay, show me the HIV virus and I'll get tested live on site. Now, the reason why I said that is if you just do a little study, you'll realize there is no HIV virus. HIV is a theory of how one comes into AIDS. But HIV itself is not a virus. That's why there's no cure for it, like cancer. Cancer is not a virus because there's no cure for it. There's no cure for cancer because cancer happens within you as a response to the environment and things that you're doing within your body. Is something that happens. So it has to only be prevented rather than cured. There's no cure for something that has to be prevented from a lifestyle.
Right. So you're saying that HIV does not exist.
No, I said that in the sense that if you get tested for HIV, they cannot test you for the HIV virus. They can only test you for antibodies from your body, produced from proteins in your body, and they're looking for these in the body to establish if your immune system is fighting its own self. So there's no HIV virus. HIV is the actual process to your immune system fighting itself and getting AIDS. So that's why you have the probability of having HIV. HIV is in itself not a virus, as cancer in itself is not a virus.
All right. So you said, let me go back a little bit, because you also said in there that you are accused of having HIV, right? Now, a lot of people who have been knocking at you and pounding at you, on one of the recent interview that you did, I think it was with Young Pharaoh or whatever, it was revealed, or it was said, or you could correct me if I'm wrong, that you had intercourse with someone that was HIV positive. Is that true or it wasn't?
That's absolutely false. That's absolutely false.
So correct the story.
There's no correction to the story. That's a he said, she said, made up to try to destroy me type story, and that's okay. That's the unk that I'm bearing. There's no validity to that story at all. So, if people that's following, they can listen to the drama. What I'm here to tell you about is HIV awareness, and that's what I've been called to do, obviously, out of this situation. So what I did was I put together some information for you to look at as far as HIV being a hoax, and that's what I want to educate the public about. All
right, so go ahead, Nature Boy. And as the question comes in, I want to be able to throw it at you as well, because we do have a lot of questions coming in from our viewers. Also, we have the phone lines that we're going to open up as well. So go ahead, Nature Boy, state your point. We want to hear it.
Okay, so HIV is a hoax. Basically, what I'm saying is that there is no HIV virus at all. What they're doing in the test, when you give your blood, no one's asking about that. Everybody's just going off what the media said. Now, HIV was created in the 80s, and on the media, Fox News, we didn't have internet today. So HIV was actually put in our minds through the media as a death disease, as if you get this, you're going to die. It was a psychological warfare. Basically, if you heard that and you believed that, your body would deteriorate because you believed it alone because of stress. response in the body that lets off proteins that create antibodies in the body that will basically make you positive for HIV if you get tested for it. And not testing you for HIV. What happens is in your body naturally, there are proteins that they are finding, particularly protein called P24. This is what they're testing you for. They're testing you for natural proteins in your body that are proteins that can be regular in your body. So these proteins, and this is what people don't know about HIV, and this is why the fear mongering has caused so much deterioration and so much death, because people have believed in their minds that this was a death sentence, on top of that taking medication that actually destroyed their immune system. So what we have to understand is the testing process. No one asks a question about, you know, when you go in there, they take your blood. You trust the doctor to take your blood. You don't know what they do with your blood. You don't know how to dispose of your blood. You don't know where your blood goes. You just give the doctor your blood. You don't know. They test your blood, but have you ever asked yourself, are they testing you for an HIV virus? No, they're not testing you for an HIV virus, because their test cannot detect an HIV virus. They can only detect the antibodies in your body, produced by your body from these proteins in your body that come as a stress response from certain chemicals that you have, or environment, or your situation in life. You might be in a negative relationship that create these natural proteins in your body that are triggers from stress in your body, the stress response in your body. These things can give that test a positive. Now, this is why HIV doctors have patients, because of the simple fact is this: they have patients so that they can keep an eye on these proteins and see if your immune system is attacking itself. Yet alone, once you tell somebody they have HIV, they already are under stress, because this is a death sentence, and we all know what the media has depicted about this. So as soon as you tell somebody they have HIV, it's a wrap, because mentally they start to deteriorate. And the mind, we know the Hermetic principle, all is mental. The mind controls everything. If someone tells you that you think, it's called the placebo effect. They have done this where they took a sugar pill, and the doctor has told them that they were healed, and the pill wasn't real, and they healed just the same way as the doctor gave actual prescriptions of medicine to people that healed. It's called the placebo effect. So what I'm trying to show you is to look into the testing process. Now, when you go online, when you're doing your research, you can't be a surface dweller.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, surface dweller.
Okay, when you're going online and you're researching the testing process, you cannot look at what's on the surface, because they control media. This stuff, all the truth is hidden. It's hidden under. You cannot trust what's in front of you. You cannot trust. You have to search deeply, and that's what I did. I searched deeply into the testing process, and what I found was they're not testing for HIV, because HIV doesn't exist. HIV is a theory, or around the process of obtaining AIDS, which is when your immune system starts to completely deteriorate, and a common thing comes in like a cold or pneumonia, and you die of pneumonia, and they say you died of HIV. You didn't die of HIV. You died of AIDS, which means that your immune system no longer can protect you from a common cold or pneumonia. So no one ever can say that they died of HIV. That's impossible. You can say that you died of AIDS, but even then, you really truly died because your immune system was too weak to fight over a cold, pneumonia, or some regular thing that you would regularly be able to fight off came over, because your immune system cannot do its job. So when you're researching, I want you to research the testing process. This is what we don't research. When you get into the details of what they're testing, the thing starts to fall apart. Now we say, okay, they are looking for these proteins in your body that are triggered by the antigens from your environment, for whatever's foreign entities in your body. They're looking for these proteins that are triggered by that. Once these proteins are triggered, and these proteins can be triggered not only because of so-called HIV, which doesn't exist, but they could be just produced. They could just be triggered because of a thyroid issue, or if you're taking antibiotics, or if you're taking certain medicine for a long time. If you have any kind of regular issues that's putting stress on your cells, then what you have to understand is that you can test positive for HIV. And a lot of people are just in a stress response. And the fact alone, if you got to go to the doctor to get a test, you're under stress. So your body could be producing the stress that triggers the proteins that creates the antibodies that they're testing for in the HIV test. They're not testing for HIV itself.
Let me ask you a question. Tell me what you think about this theory, right? So the theory that the virus is an RNA and it invades the cell and changes the DNA, right? So do you believe that theory?
Absolutely not. It's all a stress response. Yeah. It's not a virus. It is literally your own body attacking itself. When you're under stress, your body produces proteins, right? That are let off to trigger the body to that you're under stress. Now, when you're stressing in that and you create that protein, your body produces antibodies, right? To fight off those proteins and to balance those proteins. Those antibodies are what they're counting. These antibodies are, if they get to a certain level, they label you HIV, which means that you have the potential to have AIDS. HIV is the potential to have AIDS. That's why you have HIV patients. And that's why someone could have a viral load and then they later on change their lifestyle and then they're undetectable again because their life is simply stress-free again. Now, earlier, you said something that it's only one doctor that healed HIV when Dr. Sebi himself technically healed HIV. Or let's put that out there. But when I say
not one doctor that healed HIV, one person that was healed from HIV. On record, they say that one person, his name is Timothy Ray Brown. In 2007, he was being treated for cancer.
On whose record?
Well, on the record of on the books. That's what is on the books.
On the European history. Okay, I get it. All right, so listen, doctors, no one can cure you from any disease. Let me just say that right now. Right. No one can cure you from any disease. The only thing somebody can tell you is help you, aid you to change your lifestyle, which is creating stress in your life to bring these proteins down so that these antibodies do not go crazy. So your body is producing this. Your body itself is producing this on its own. And I want everybody to know that the test is not testing you. And you can go in the doctor and ask, please don't take my word for it. Next time you go for an HIV test, question the doctor. He might get upset with you, but that don't mean shit. Ask the doctor, is the test testing me for HIV? He's going to say no. The test is testing you for HIV antibodies. Now you're going to be like, what is HIV antibodies? As you ask him that, you realize that he's just testing you for these antibodies that are in your body triggered by these proteins that are naturally occurring as a stress response in your body. And that's what they're testing for. HIV is just, like I said, it's the process that they are watching to make sure that you don't get AIDS. Now, that just because you're stressed out doesn't mean you're going to get AIDS. But what they do is they put you on this medicine that does stress the body out. Antibiotics, all these pharmaceutical medicines are stressing the body out and producing more antibodies. That's why when you have one disease, you're more likely to have another one, because if you have like herpes, you're more likely to test positive for HIV because your body's going to be producing more P24, more P120, more of these proteins that are actually going to send off signals for antibodies to come in, and you're going to have a load of these antibodies that's going to basically make you test positive. Okay. But then again, if you tested a dog with that, and the dog will come out positive. If you tested the cat will test it out positive, because it's not testing for HIV. It's testing for these antibodies from the stress release, from the proteins stress release. So the next time you're at the doctor, just ask the doctor, and the doctor might not even know itself because they're just programmed from what they was taught. Right. But you have to go into this with this computer in your pocket. And a lot of times, let me say this and I'm gonna let you have it. A lot of times we see big words and we back out. Don't back out when you see these big words or these long monologues of talking. Just take your time and read. And that's what we don't do. So when we don't read, we give our strength away. We give our strength away. We don't read, and we give our blood to people. Just give it away. Just hear it. Read. I want you guys to look up and look into HIV hoax. Look into it and just tell me what you think. The knowledge is there. The facts are there. It's up to you to look into it or not. But I am obliged to actually tell you what's going on from my end and what we know. Since HIV was put on my name, I want to educate people about HIV.
Right. We got a call on the line. Caller, where you calling us from?
Calling from Alabama.
Calling from Alabama. Go ahead, caller.
I can't hear him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm calling from Alabama.
You're not hearing him,
I
DJ boy?
I can hear you, but I can't hear him.
Okay.
I was just calling on just saying, he set up there and lied and say that he never said he had sex with HIV positive people.
Right.
He absolutely said that.
Okay.
It was on the post on Facebook.
All right.
He admitted to having sex with HIV positive people.
All right. So let me ask him. Caller, let me ask him. Nature Boy, the caller is saying that you said that earlier in the program that you never had sex with HIV positive people, but there was a post on Facebook that absolutely confirmed that you actually did say that.
Well, we already cleared that up. If you want to go on my YouTube, we could clear it up. I already talked about that whole thing on my YouTube page, Carbonation TV. Go on YouTube. We're putting up we're clearing up everything today. I was online today with Young Pharaoh, and that's okay. But let me tell him this.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to respond to him and say. You worry too much about my life. Worry about yours. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't let nothing distract you from your life. You can look so much into somebody else's life and scrutinize somebody else's life that you forget about your own. Live your life, brother. Don't worry about what's going on in my life and what I got going, because at the end of the day, I got to live for me. You got to live for you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm feeling good. I'm in the tropics. I'm living a good life. You feel me? I'm happy.
Right.
You got to be happy for you and take what you can take what you can get from me and leave the rest from anybody. Don't let nobody sit there and have that much attention from you unless you learning something that's going to better yourself. Stop paying attention to the fuck shit and make sure that you pay attention to what's going to help you. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to curse?
Only one bad word for the hour.
Okay, so don't pay attention to what is not making you a better person. Only take the fruit and plant the seed. They say throw away the seed. I say plant the seed.
Yeah.
Plant the seed. Leave the rest alone, man. If it ain't better than you, stay out of people's business, man. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. If you passing by and I'm dropping some wisdom and some knowledge you could use, take that and keep it moving, man. All that chatty patty stuff, that ain't gonna take you nowhere in life, yo. Stop looking at my life and look at yours.
We got the next caller. We got the next caller. Caller, you live? Where you calling us from? Hello? Hold on, let me see if I got this call. Okay. Guys, you're watching Right Along. We open up the phone lines. The phone number is 718-701-5720. Caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
I'm calling from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Go ahead.
Yes. So I have a question. Can I go ahead and answer?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, my question for Nature Boy is, could you tell me what a hoax is?
What's a hoax?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Nature Boy, the caller wants to know, what is a hoax?
A hoax is something that was basically a fraud, something that's not actually real. Tell her to look it up on Google.
Right.
No, I'm asking you for a reason.
I'm not Google.
You keep saying HIV is a hoax, so I want you to tell me what a hoax is. I know what a hoax is.
She said, since you said HIV is a hoax, she want to know what a hoax is.
It's a humorous or malicious deception.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you understand the concept that every joke comes from the truth?
You know?
She said, do you understand that every hoax comes from the truth?
No, the
it's always truth and a lie.
Stems from the truth.
It's always truth and a lie, sweetheart. Everything that you got in life, even the things that you hear about me, is some truth to it.
Wait a second. We didn't
it's always truth and a lie.
Hold on.
Even the Bible could tell you some truth. It's always, matter of fact, most of the truth that you can find will always be in the lie.
Stray away from it.
So you have to look for the truth in a lie. That's the only way you're going to find the truth.
All right. Okay. Caller, ask your next question. Go ahead. For some reason, he's not hearing you.
Okay. I'm asking you that. Yeah, I understand. I'm asking you that because it is malicious deception. And malicious deception is when, from what I understand, is when someone is trying to steer you away from exactly what it is that's happening, and in order for something very hurtful to happen to you. Hence why, yes, I understand that HIV is a hoax. And the reason why it's a hoax, I would say, is because the testing is fraudulent. That means that the testing can happen, and people who do have HIV won't know, and people who don't have HIV won't know.
Right. It's a lot that was said there. It was a lot that was said there. For some reason I
He
can't.
could hear me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he can't hear you. So, malicious deception.
Tell her cut it short.
Yeah, just cut it short, call. Just give me a short, like I could translate it back to him.
Okay. The short is HIV. I understand that he's saying that it's a hoax.
Yes. She said that you
However,
understand that
deception,
HIV is a hoax, right? You say that it's a hoax, but anyway, deception.
However,
deception.
Deception is turning someone away from what is
Hello?
actually happening. In order for something.
Yo, Junior.
Stay on the line. Nature boy, you know what you won't have to do? Call her. Let me translate it back to him. Hold on, let me fix the line. I call her. Stand by.
I can hear you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, listen. We let me fix the line here. I want Nature Boy to be able to hear the caller. Just like how the caller.
I can hear it ringing.
Yeah. But you're not hearing her, and that's a little issue right there. So I'm gonna try to fix that. Stand by, guys. Stand by. We're gonna try to fix the problem right here. You're watching Ridealong, and stand by, guys. I'm gonna fix this line right now, so we could possibly Nature Boy could hear the caller, and the caller could hear Nature Boy. All right. Stand by. Caller, you there? Caller, you there? All right.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, all right, caller. Caller, hang up and call again, so we'll try to fix this line, okay? Stand by.
All right.
Yeah, caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Nature Boy, could you hear the caller?
I can hear her. Come on.
All right, go ahead, caller.
Oh, okay. So, I find it funny that you say it's a hoax. Like, obviously, you don't
Breaking
have
up.
any type of educational background. You hear me?
Yeah.
She breaking up.
Go ahead. Repeat your question, caller.
I said I find it funny how someone would know.
I cannot hear her, man. That's
Okay.
crazy. I can't hear her.
I'm here.
I don't know.
Can you just repeat her question? I can't hear her, man.
Yeah, all right, caller. Could you make it brief? I'll repeat it back to him.
I would like to make it brief. It's just challenging because the point I'm trying to make is that he's going towards the testing because the testing is faulty, not the infection. The infection is not a hoax. The testing process.
She's saying
is
that
a hoax.
the testing process. Is it possible that the testing process could be a hoax, not the actual the infection itself?
Okay, tell her that the testing process
She's
is
hearing
the
you.
hoax,
She's
but
hearing you, Nature Boy.
the testing process is not. That's the truth. The testing, the HIV whole thing, the whole thing of having HIV that's the hoax of having HIV. I have HIV. That's the hoax. You can't have HIV. You can have proteins in your body. That the actual process is what's real, which means you have an imbalance. They just named it HIV and everybody's going crazy, but you know, there's no HIV, man. It's not that simple. It's deeper than that.
Okay. Apparently at this point
It's like a
there's
marketing
no way
tool
I'm
or
going
something.
to be able to just directly speak to him. But what I'm going to say is that the testing is what's faulty based on his lecture and based on all the information that they have about the testing.
Right.
The testing, what it tests you for, cannot be accurate until the amount of antibodies builds up enough for them to realize that it's fighting an infection, or the amount of antigens builds up enough. Hence why they request.
I'm not hearing nothing
HIV
she's
test
saying.
Hold on,
every
Nature Boy.
3 months, 3 to 6 months, because when the number of antigens increase, it's easier to detect.
Okay, caller. All right, caller. Nature Boy, is there a second device that you could listen on? Just kind of listen on when the caller is calling, because for some reason.
But it's gonna be delayed. It's gonna be delayed. So by the time I hear,
it'll be slightly delayed. It'll be slightly delayed, but nevertheless, you're gonna hear the question. All right. At least you're gonna hear it a little bit. All right.
So, thank you.
right,
That's
caller.
all I had to say.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you, guys. This is Ridealong. We're talking to Nature Boy here. The lines are kind of messed up a little bit because the caller, for some reason, the caller is not hearing Nature Boy. Nature Boy is not hearing the caller, and so it's kind of this hard for him to follow. Okay, you have your second device there, Nature Boy.
what you say? Yeah.
You have the second device.
I can hear that person.
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's take this next call here real quick, guys. Right. Caller, you live.
Yes, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Now, he keeps mentioning proteins, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
You keep mentioning proteins and antibodies.
Right.
Are you aware that proteins create the antibodies? And the antibodies are significant to a specific antigen, which is a virus.
Nature Boy, are you able to follow?
Nah, I can't hit. I can't hit him. I can't hit. I'm trying, but
Okay, well, long as everybody else hear me.
Right. Go ahead, caller.
Okay? The antigen is the virus. When it enters somebody's body, antibodies form around it. Those antibodies are made of proteins.
Right.
So you're already proving yourself wrong by keep saying proteins, and you mentioned antibodies already. So it's clear you don't even know your own information. Actually, it's not even your information. You're Googling it. Like, you really don't have the educational background. And as far as the ELISA test, I worked in a lab for years doing ELISA tests.
Right.
And that's where we test antibodies that are specific to an antigen. Like, if you don't know the medical lingo, do not use it, because you're confusing your followers, you're confusing a lot of people, and you're not a medical doctor. Where are your case studies? I'm currently in school for a PhD, and we have to follow certain ethical rules and show case studies, proof, references, and you have showed nothing. So please stop telling lies to the public.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Okay.
All right. I think your boy digest the question right there, guys. You're watching right along the phone.
hey, I heard her.
Go ahead.
She sound like an AI robot. She sound like an AI government robot. Like that. That's all good. They already programmed her. She programmed. Like, you can't talk to these people. These people dead, man. Look, man. I just told you what it is, man. You can take it or leave it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you can take it or leave it.
Here is the pushback, right? How do you know that your information is valid information that people could take to the bank? Like, if someone is there right now and they've been diagnosed with HIV, how should they take your word over the doctor?
It's not my word. It's not my word. It's their word. All I did was look at the process of what happens. That's all. It's simple. They don't got to take my word. Everybody just research it. Don't listen to these people and what they've been trained through these medical books. Because they've been trained the wrong thing. The person that made the medical books is Hippocrates. Hippocrates, he says that let thy food be thy medicine. Let thy food be thy medicine. Now, the person that created their histories or whatever, their medical books, this person that's talking to you online, they only giving you knowledge from the knowledge they've been taught in these damn schools. They program you to be a damn cell. You sound like an AI robot. You sound real educated by their system. And of course, just like every other doctor, you're going to fight what you think you know. But at the end of the day, that's not the testing process. Because if she says the ELISA test, there's a disclaimer in the ELISA test that reads like this. Shall I read it? Shall I read the? Can you want to Google it?
Yeah, go ahead. Read
she
it.
said, let me read you the disclaimer in the actual test. I'm going to actually show you this. Here's the disclaimer. I'm going to show you. It's funny because she said she worked in the field. That's funny. I'm going to show it on the screen. But all of you, this is what you can do. You can go online, because online they have all of these things for you. All you have to do is look up the ELISA test disclaimer.
Yeah.
The ELISA test disclaimer.
Okay.
All you got to do is read the insert yourself.
Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second, caller.
I ain't not going to call her because at the end of the day, I'm going to respond to what she said, and then I'm gonna let it go.
Right.
But on the ELISA test kit disclaimer, it says at presence.
It said that this is not
at
the
presence.
standard.
There is no recognized.
Hold on 1 second. We can't hear you and him at the same time. Just let him speak.
Just hang up. Look, hang up. Hang up.
Go ahead, Nature Boy. Go ahead.
Listen, in the kit, it's a disclaimer. That disclaimer is, at present, there is no recognized standard for establishing the presence or absence of HIV-1 antibody in the human blood. What that means
exactly.
is
so standard.
that
just like this is standard for U.S. measurement. Centimeters is European standard, so it's not the standard globally. You're right.
Relax. I can hear her kind of screaming like.
Stand by. You hearing her now, Nature Boy? Nature, you hearing her now?
Relax.
Nature.
Listen. We can agree to disagree here. You don't have to agree with me. You can keep your understanding. I'll keep mine. All I'm doing is giving another perspective. You don't have to believe what I'm saying.
Okay.
All I'm saying is look into it.
But at least know
when
what
you're looking
standard
into it,
means.
please research deeper
least
than
know
what
what
you
standard
find on the
means, though.
surface.
Okay.
Because surface brothers will never find the truth.
Nature Boy, let you speak now.
Okay,
Caller,
but
go
did
ahead.
you hear
Go
me?
ahead.
Inches is the metric standard for
I can't hear her,
America.
anyway.
You know that, right?
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Okay. Inches
She just
is
gonna
the
protect
standard
her
measurement for the
credentials.
United
That's
States.
all.
Centimeters is the standard for Europe.
Right.
Right? But they're both measurements, right?
Yes.
Okay, then. So when they say standard, that means that globally it's not the standard. It's not the number one standard for detecting those antibodies. But that doesn't mean it's invalid. Invalid and standard is not the same thing. You have to know the words that you're using. And then you say that I sound like a robot for being actually educated in the field and can use the words properly, and you're just throwing words around that don't make any sense. You're using protein and antibodies not knowing it's the same thing. It make up the antibodies. What are you talking about? And then you're not even using the word standard right. Just like Common Core curriculum is the standard for education. You don't have to use it, but that's the standard.
Mm-hmm. All right, caller. Thank you so much.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm not here. Okay, I don't want to take your lie away from you. That's okay. You can keep it. You can keep your lie. I don't want it.
Yeah, but
like, look,
let me ask you a question.
Hey.
Let me ask you a question. If there's a lot of people right now that's watching this live that know a family member or they themselves might were diagnosed with HIV, right? And again,
Yes.
what I have to put a disclaimer to this whole thing. In fact, I should have put this up to the top, right? The words expressed here are your words, are your thoughts, not necessarily that of Ridealong or myself. I should put that up at the top. So everybody needs to do their own research, do their own check with the doctor. That's what I would recommend.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying do your research. Don't believe me?
Right.
Do the damn research. I'm not saying believe me, man. I'm trying to spark your mind to think different and think and see it from a different perspective, bro. Just go do the research.
Right.
Don't take my word for it, man, or nobody else's, man.
Okay.
All I'm here to do is just show you what I found. Here, I found this here. You can take it or leave it.
Right.
You can take it or leave it. It's just like cancer. Cancer as well develops from within the body. From something that we've done or have been exposed to. So there's no cure for it because it has to be a change in lifestyle for that to basically stop happening. But like I said, you don't have to believe me. I'm not here as an HIV advocate. Yo, have that shit, please. Y'all can have that. I'm simply just saying one thing, that research it. That's all.
Right.
You can have the rest. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I believe in something different. I'm saying look it up and go do some research and look into the testing process.
Right.
What are they testing you for? Are those things naturally in your body? Whatever proteins are they testing you for, do they occur naturally in your body? And if you look a little carefully and you look a little closer, I just put some knowledge on my page on Carbonation TV for you to look at. I mean, it is what it is, but most people will not do it anyway because they're going to go with what the crowd say. So
right.
I was just saying that what I found.
Right. I have a question here. I have a question here from the chat.
My research.
I have a question here from the chat, from the text. It goes like this, Nature Boy. You had mentioned that you have some seborrheic dermatitis, right? The person want to know that. Okay, if you have HIV disease, okay, they say that if HIV is an other. If HIV and all other diseases are in the mind according to you, how and why could you acknowledge that you have seborrheic dermatitis but didn't acknowledge that you have HIV? Seborrheic dermatitis is a symptom of HIV. So why acknowledge the symptom?
It's not a symptom of HIV. That's a lie. That's crazy.
Right.
It's not a symptom of HIV. Shit, a runny nose, a goddamn a back pain, a goddamn any kind of a cough, a common cough, or what? A dry eyes, fucking acne, Acne is a symptom of fucking. So every kind of sickness is a symptom of HIV because it shuts down your immune system. Now, you can't just target it one thing because there's something that you can have wrong with you that you could put in Google that and that could be connected to HIV. First of all, second of all, like I said, man, it's one thing to acknowledge that you have an imbalance in your body. It's another thing for you to acknowledge the fact that you got a death sentence and that you got to take medicine or pharmaceuticals to make sure that you can get back to normal. It's a whole nother thing. It's one thing for you to know, okay, my skin is getting dry. I'm a little stressed. Let me back off a little bit. Let me go chill. Let me go ground. Let me go eat. Let me go chill with my family and get off this line because I'm going too hard. And then, like, when it clears down, I know that throughout my life, throughout my adulthood, I've been dealing with seborrheic dermatitis. So I for sure know that this ain't no HIV because I've been living with this shit all my life. And I post the pictures of my whole goddamn adulthood up until now, before I had children, after I had children, showing you that my skin been like this for years. And it comes and it goes depending on the weather or how much I'm stressing or how much stress is on me. Now, my work and what I do is a stressful work. Even though I live in a beautiful environment and I live in tune with nature, me speaking my message, all the taunting that comes back to me can be a bit stressful because I'm human. And I want you to know that. When people say mean things online about me, that hurts me. And that's been stressful to me. So my job is stressful. Well, I know what this is, so I know how to basically calibrate it. You feel what I'm saying? And balance it myself. I know when I'm gotta step back and I know when I come forward because at the end of the day, I know my body. You can look at my body and think you know what's going on with my body, but until you get facts behind that, you can't judge that. You can't judge that. You can't judge it.
Right. We got a call in line. We got a call in line. We got another call.
Hey, listen. This is the last call.
This is the last call.
Hey, Junior, listen. I'm not open to all questions for the public. I'm not.
Right. Okay.
So please filter the questions.
All right. Let me take this last call, and then we're going to shut you off. I got some more questions, some more conversation to have with you about other things. Caller, you live. You're the last caller for the night.
Peace, what's up with it? This Young Pharaoh, and I'm definitely in the building.
Oh, Young Pharaoh.
Is that Young Pharaoh?
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is me. This is me.
Young Pharaoh. Listen, you wanna join in the conversation? Could you hear him, Nature Boy?
Yeah, I can hear him, but listen, man, tell Young Pharaoh this ain't the platform for that.
This ain't your platform. I'm calling in. It's a call-in number.
Tell him that we can get on IG right now after this, and we can go live on IG.
I'm calling
My
in.
IG is ELIGIO underscore the truth.
Yeah, hold on. Let me hear. Hold on, Nature Boy. Let's hear Young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all,
I don't want to. I can't hear him.
Nature Boy, turn on your other device.
Listen, I wouldn't say, you know.
And why is Young Pharaoh on here? Why is Young Pharaoh on here? Why is he everywhere I go? Why is Young Pharaoh everywhere I go?
Everybody watch right along. Hold on 1 second. Let's say Nature Boy. Let's say Young Pharaoh.
Why is Young Pharaoh everywhere I go?
No, hold on.
Jesus Christ, can I talk?
Ain't that weird?
Nature Boy.
Ain't that weird?
Nature Boy.
Turn the light on.
Hold on. Let's hear Young Pharaoh. Let's hear Young Pharaoh. Turn on your other device. Go ahead, Young Pharaoh.
Tell him to meet me on the platform where I can respond to him. Because all he gonna do is push things that ain't relative.
Yeah.
Listen, host, can you tell him to be quiet?
Nature Boy, hold on 1 second. Let's just hear him. Go ahead.
I'm a caller. We gotta have respect.
Bro, I'm not talking to him on here, man. This is our interview, y'all.
Yeah, but no.
I'm a caller.
I'm not talking to him on here, man. He don't got no intention toward me, man. He ain't got no good intention toward me.
Yeah.
This person is a hater of mine. And you putting him on an interview with me, that's disrespectful to me.
No, listen. Hold on.
Can you control your guest?
Junior, that's disrespectful to me, man, because this person don't even.
No, Nature Boy.
I'm a caller.
Nature Boy, he's calling in with a point. He just have a question, just like every other caller.
Nah, it really ain't no question because he knows that me and him have an ongoing conversation. His battery died earlier, but he never called me back. He never hit me back. His battery died, and now he's coming on a platform.
But could you just allow him to speak? Just allow him. What? Like, Nature Boy, just allow him to state his point. All right.
Listen, Junior. Listen, I'm not doing no more interviews with you, man. Like you could have Young Pharaoh on your show, because I'm not doing this. This is
Junior, I'll
disrespectful
come on.
to
Don't
me.
worry, Junior.
And I thought me and you was cool to let him to sit there and talk on the line. Have another session with him, but I don't want to talk about this. Me and him we go back and forth.
But what is the problem? No, what is the problem? I don't know the problem. Listen, hold on. I don't know what the problem is.
That thing about the spread is nothing but fear. He about to spread nothing but fear and hope and nothing but negativity. That's what he's about to say into your mic. And if that's what you want on your show, I don't want to have nothing to do. I think this is an education program.
Okay.
He's about to say spit a lot of stuff on here that's going to get out to people that on your channel about me that's negative. And it's stupid because it's not true. And we already challenging all the things that he's saying.
I don't even know what he got to say. I don't even know what he has to say.
I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him, Junior.
Okay, don't.
So if you're gonna let him talk,
Junior,
then I'm not interviewing with you, because at the end of the day, it's like,
Junior, he does not have to respond. I just want to say what I called in to say. Then he doesn't have to respond.
Okay.
He can be quiet.
Are you gonna respect my wishes as your interviewer, or are you gonna do foul stuff because you're gonna give views?
You don't have to respond. I'm calling views, not your show.
Or are you gonna do the right thing?
Now hold on. Let me reset. Now, Nature Boy, we having this conversation. Hold on. Let me say this.
Are you gonna be loyal to your interviewer?
No. I'm the interviewer. I'm the interviewer. You the guest, right? I'm the interviewer. You the guest. Are we taking calls? Are we talking about HIV?
No, I'm not. I told you I'm not taking every call, and I'm not taking all answers. I'm not talking to Young Pharaoh right now. I'm not talking to him. That's by my request on your show. I'm saying I'm not talking to him. You're interviewing me. I'm not talking to him right now.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm here to make a comment. I have that right. I'm a caller. Thank you.
So you're gonna let him talk? All right. That's the kind of world we live in today, yo. We live in a kind of world where we live in every kind of world. As long as it's chatty patty and you can get a view, there's no morals before anything. You see what I'm saying? There's no morals before anything.
Let me tell you,
there's
it's two things I don't do. Right? It's two things I don't do. I don't block no one, and I let everyone have their voice.
You can hang up the phone call and say not right now, and get with him later. But this ain't the platform. This ain't the platform for me and Young Pharaoh right now. We're talking about HIV hoax.
Young Pharaoh. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Wait. I can't call in like everybody.
Why yo just hang up on this man? It's our interview. This is crazy.
Yeah, Nature Boy, but I cannot hang up on a guest because this is not how we.
You can't hang up on a guest because you can tell him like, listen, man, he don't want to take the call right now. He don't want to take the question.
I want to hear what you got to say. I want to hear what everybody else have to say. I want to hear what he has to say, like everybody else.
Listen, and here's a moment for you, right? Here's a moment. Me and you have a relationship. Me and you have a relationship, right? But there's no morals to this, right? There's no morals to our respect level. You're gonna disrespect me, your interviewer.
I'm not.
You called me to do an interview. You called me to do an interview. I'm doing an interview with you about what I said. And I'm asking you. I'm like, listen, I don't want to interview with everybody. I don't want to answer all questions.
Listen, it's two things. It's two things to this here, right? We're gonna talk about you saying that HIV is being a hoax, and you have this challenge.
But I do not want to talk to Young Pharaoh on this platform because he's going to spread lies about me.
You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to say one word. You don't have to say one word to me. You don't have to say one word, but as a caller,
Junior, man, you gotta grow some morals over. You're never gonna win like that. You're never gonna win.
But what
you gotta put your
How am I gonna look to everybody else to taking calls from some?
You gotta put your morals before these people and money and everything. Put morals first. You cannot live your life that way.
Young Pharaoh,
because it's gonna bite you in the ass. Always put your morals first, Junior.
All right, Young Pharaoh, let's talk.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk another time.
Do this the right way. You got to put morals first. You can't. This is when you start selling out. This is when people could come and know that they could just come for views, or you do anything for views. You'll do anything for anything. Let people know I'm not for sale. First of all, because once you start doing that, then other people will come in and you'll turn on. Trust me, you don't want to go down that road. Keep your morals and principles before money, before relationship.
It's obvious. Listen, it's obvious we cannot have a conversation with two you guys on the line. So let me finish.
I'm not talking to him. I'm your interviewer.
All you have to do
me and you on the flyer. Me and you on the flyer. I'm talking to you.
But this is not working. The audience, listen. The audience is not benefiting one dime. The audience, listen. Got Young Pharaoh, Nature Boy. The audience is not benefiting from this. Nobody understanding nothing what we're talking about here right now. Everybody's screaming.
They're not. And I don't want to talk to Young Pharaoh right now. Did you hear me? I have the right to tell you as an interviewer. I don't want to talk to this man right now. I don't want to hear nothing from him. I don't want to say nothing to him. I got nothing to say to him.
I'm calling to talk to Junior.
And you still gonna let him talk?
I'm calling to talk to Junior.
Young Pharaoh, do me a favor.
Junior, this is your show. I'm calling in.
He's not gonna respect you.
Yeah, Young Pharaoh, listen, I watch you. I see what you do. I have nothing against you. I have nothing against Nature Boy. I'm one of the persons. I can speak to Nature Boy. I can speak to Young Pharaoh. I can speak to anybody. I want to keep that relationship, right? So here's what we're gonna do, Young Pharaoh.
Listen, no, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna do the. Listen. I'm gonna tell
you the right thing. That's all. Do the right thing. Nobody want to do the right thing. Everybody want views and people know who Young Pharaoh is. That they want to scoop on Young Pharaoh. They know where to go with the drama. Why you gotta bring it here? Why you gotta follow me? Why are you following me, Young Pharaoh? Why? Why everywhere I go you following me? Why?
Listen, I'm in the middle of something I don't even understand.
Nigga stalking me, man.
Let me tell you, Junior, something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
He's stalking everything I'm doing. Every damn thing I'm doing. He writing a little crescent in the corner. Every little thing, man. Hey, man, are you gonna hold morals or are you gonna keep them on the line for views? So you selling out, man. Where's the real men at out here? Is there any real people out here anymore?
I know you finished.
Is there any real people out here anymore? Anybody with a heart?
Junior,
anybody that's gonna put morals before anything else?
Why you
this is
crazy?
Yeah, well, no. Listen. This whole thing here is not okay.
Listen, I know you finna tell me to go. But let me at least say what I gotta say.
Okay, listen. Go ahead. Nature Boy just disconnected the call, right? And that's something I'm gonna do after.
Serious reflection. So this is
so. Go ahead.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. You was getting ready to tell me I gotta go because Nature Boy is afraid that I was gonna get up here and say something that would debunk his false premise of HIV being a hoax.
Right.
Now your entire chat room says that they wanted to hear me speak.
Right.
Now you, as being a host on this show, okay, I would have, this is your platform. I'm not telling you how to run your platform, but I would have expected that as a caller. I'm calling in as a caller. Nature Boy doesn't want to speak to me. That's fine. But you take calls. Somebody tagged me in here, told me to call in. Somebody I'm following him. I'm not following him. Somebody tagged me. They said Nature Boy is, spitting that false rhetoric. Call in. I decided to call in. You didn't even know this was me on the phone. And so that being said, as a caller,
right,
I would have expected you to let me say what I need to say as a caller.
Yeah, I have no problem. I have no problem, Young Pharaoh. I have no problem with letting you speak.
No, because you was getting ready to tell me to leave.
Yeah, because what
I am going to say is this. Nature Boy should not be able to come on your platform or anybody's platform, and when he's confronted by somebody who we know is directly fin to refute his lies, talk over you or talk over me in a very disrespectful manner, in a way to where I can't talk as a caller. I didn't call it. If Nature Boy don't want to respond, he didn't have to. I would have made my statement and left. Now, the reason Nature Boy hung up is because he knows that he was finna get smoked indirectly, because the information I was finna drop was finna directly refute everything that people have heard thus far. And so, with that being said, I'm not gonna go in like I was gonna go in, but I'm gonna say this: Nature Boy is saying HIV is a hoax. He didn't even know what the acronym of HIV stood for. He doesn't know the difference between how the body biologically reacts to HIV or cancer. Nature Boy teaches that all sickness comes from the mind, yet he self-diagnosed himself with seborrheic dermatitis. But if HIV is not real and you can't have that, how can you have seborrheic dermatitis, which is a symptom of HIV?
Yeah, so but hold on. Let me ask you something there.
Hold on, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. But I'm going to say this. Nature Boy is picking and choosing what sicknesses he wants to acknowledge because he's embarrassed. I have put up plenty screenshots of Nature Boy saying that he has had sex with multiple people who were diagnosed positive with HIV. Nature Boy said that a woman over there named Serenity, who came over there, was diagnosed with HIV before she came. The light-skinned girl sitting next to Nature Boy says that she has herpes. And so he acknowledges all of these sicknesses, but they somehow don't exist when it comes to him having them. But if you were to ask that light-skinned woman next to him named Ileana, does she have herpes? She would say yes. And then she would try to say no, and her explanation for no would be because it's all in my mind. And so what's happening is Nature Boy has no knowledge outside of Google. I went live with Nature Boy earlier on Instagram, which I'm going to post, and he didn't even know the definition of an antigen. He didn't even know what HIV stood for. He didn't know any of these medical facts that he's speaking on. The only thing that Nature Boy is telling people is that it's all in your mind. Now, this is why I'm going to make this point. I mean, this is why I'm making my point before I go. A woman died over there with Nature Boy, in case you or don't nobody know. And I just posted the screenshots on my Instagram right now of her family. Her family confirmed what I already said. Now, this woman had a heart condition, and she was taking medication. And Nature Boy told her to stop taking her medication because her sickness is not real. It's all in her head. And her ass died. Now, there's a woman over there who's allegedly HIV positive who just gave birth to a premature baby. And Nature Boy is not seeking out any medical attention because he believes that this shit is all in their head. Okay? And so people are dying over there behind what this nigga is talking about. So this is beyond just a nigga sounding stupid on the internet.
Yeah.
This is people who are running from their own sicknesses and to the point where they're willing to believe somebody saying that they're not sick because it's in their head and they dying. And if you think I'm lying, go on my Instagram and my Facebook right now. My Facebook is Pharaoh Otten, Pharaoh space ATEN. And I just posted the screenshot where her family said they didn't want her to go over there. And she stopped taking her medication because this nigga told her it's all in her head. I have screenshots of Nature Boy saying that and the girl next to him saying that as much as 4 days ago on Facebook. And so these people have acknowledged that at one point in time they were diagnosed with HIV, herpes, hepatitis, and a bunch of other shit. And the only explanation for these things no longer existing within them is because it happened while they was stressed out. And now they're not stressed out, so it's gone because it was all in their mind. And so with that being said, I'm going to go because you was going to ask me to go anyway.
Yeah.
But my thing is, shouldn't nobody be able to come on this platform and tell you how to run your platform?
No. That's not the case. That's not the case. For the benefit of the audience, and I'm sure you would have done it.
No, the audience was saying, "Let me talk."
Yeah, I had no problem with letting you talk. But I had no problem with letting you talk. But I had no problem with letting you talk. But if you talking and he's screaming, then nobody hears anything. So whether
you should have told, listen, as a host, you should have told him, listen, this is a caller. If you don't want to respond to him, that's fine. Yeah. If he gets out of pocket, I'll hang up on him.
Yeah, no. But how many times? But I did that. But that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. But obviously, whatever exists between you and Nature Boy, I'm in the middle of it. I don't know about it, right?
No, you're not. Listen, let me tell you something. Don't nothing exist between me and Nature Boy. Nature Boy is just afraid of somebody who knows what they're talking about speaking at the same time he's speaking. Now, when that woman called in, and let me pause for a minute because I see people in the chat asking me what's my Instagram. I'm typing my Instagram in the chat right now. It's Pharaoh _Otten.
Yeah.
Pharaoh _ATEN. But with that being said, when that woman called in, when she was cooking Nature Boy, he tried to deflect her talking about something. She's trying to protect her credentials. No, that woman knew what she was talking about. And what Nature Boy does is he's using black power as a way to egotistically get you to agree with his foolishness. Now let me give you an example. Nature Boy excuse for not taking the prematurely born baby to the hospital that he got sleeping in the tent. His excuse for that is it's the white man hospital. So what he's doing is he got people making retarded ass decisions and then using so-called black power as an excuse for you to agree with it. So if you say Nature Boy, go to the hospital, he's going to say that's the white man hospital. If you say Nature Boy, you said out your mouth, and Ileana said out your mouth, and other members in out your camp said out their mouth that they've been diagnosed with either herpes, HIV, or hepatitis at one point in time, he's going to say, oh, it's all in their mind, and they don't have it no more. And so the point I'm trying to make is this is not a rational person. I even put up a video yesterday where he admitted that he was in a psych ward at one point in time for mental health issues. And so you have a mental health ex-patient on your platform giving out ridiculous fucking knowledge.
Yeah.
And me, as somebody who has a huge platform, has an obligation to refute that. I don't give a fuck about Nature Boy personally.
Yeah, well, listen.
But the fact that a woman has already died.
Now hold on.
Here,
do me a favor. We don't have that kind of language. You allow one cuss word per hour, and you already went over that limit.
You right. Okay.
All right, but listen. The fact about the show today is to discuss Nature Boy's challenge and to see and if folks could refute his challenge. That's the whole idea. I wanted people to call in to refute the challenge, people who have more knowledge on it, doctors, whoever wanted to call in, and that was the idea of it. So you calling in fits right into the idea of the program, refuting the challenge, because he put out a challenge, and that's what I wanted people to call in and do. So you called in, I give you the platform, but I would not have allowed you and Nature Boy just go toe to toe, head to head for the whole hour shouting and screaming at each other.
I respect that, and I want you to know I respect your platform. And as I stated earlier, Nature Boy didn't have to say one word. He didn't even have to reply. All I wanted to do was speak for maybe 100 seconds,
right.
And I was gone.
Right.
And the people was gonna be able to use their own cognitive intelligence and use discernment to within themselves confirm or deny what's fact or what's false.
Right.
And so I wasn't here to turn your show into a battleship fight. He did that. I was cool, calm, and collected the entire time.
Right.
And so Nature Boy is using his cult for sex because I posted these screenshots because he teaches that sex is for communication first and procreation second. So he teaches that in order to communicate with you, he got to have sex with you. But not only is he getting all of these young, dumb-minded girls, because I just posted a video where he had a 16-year-old send him a nude, okay? So he's using his cult to be a sexual pervert, but on top of that, he has a potentially deadly STD. And so with that being said, this is why he's dangerous.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Now, if it wasn't all of these factors,
yeah,
you wouldn't hear my mouth.
Okay, well, taking Nature Boy at his word, he said he did not have sex with anyone else that he known to have HIV. I wasn't there. I'm not his doctor, and I can't say that he did. His word is that he didn't. At least I have to take him at that word, unless we could prove otherwise. That was his words. But anyway,
no, I know, but he's a liar.
Okay.
He's a liar, and I got all of the screenshots on my Instagram and on my Facebook, and I posted everything on YouTube.
Okay.
I even did a live stream with Nature Boy together, and me and him was both live, and he admitted out his mouth that he had sex with people who had HIV, and one of them is still over there in his coat right now. Right. And I had him admit it out his mouth.
All right. Pharaoh, we'll have a chance to chat again. Keep doing your thing. Again, I have nothing against you or or Nature Boy or anybody for that matter. I think that we just need to get knowledge out. If it is the case that it is a hoax, I want to get information. But if it's not, and there is contrasting information, I want to get that information as well. But thank you so much, Young Pharaoh, for calling in, and we'll keep in touch. All right.
I'm gone. Holla.
All right. Great. Yeah. I didn't want it to go like this. That wasn't the plan. But it was a challenge. Remember, at the end of the day, Nature Boy put up a challenge, right? They got a call here. Caller, you live?
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi. This is, I called earlier when
Yes.
I was telling him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing about HIV challenge. I feel as though, as an adult, it's very irresponsible to even word something like that, because a challenge is a contest, competition, a duel, an objection for increase of truth or proof.
Right.
So when someone goes against what he's saying on his HIV challenge, he gets mad and doesn't even show proof or anything.
Yeah.
Now they're a robot. Furthermore, as adults sitting over there in being an advocate for it, now you're being an advocate if you're getting on someone's platform saying that it's a hoax and X, Y, and Z. Where's the proof? And there's a lot of young people following this fool and believing this stuff and saying that the ELISA test isn't true, this isn't true, and then they're not even in the field working in it. They haven't been properly educated.
But Colin, let me ask you a
Now,
question.
anybody,
On the ELISA
any
test,
fool-
right? On the back of the ELISA test, the disclaimer that's on there, because I Googled it myself, and he did say something to the effect of the test doesn't, I can't remember off the top of my head exactly.
Yeah,
the
that
word.
is not the standard.
Okay, what is the
You
standard?
have
What
to
is
know
the
what
standard?
standard means.
What is the standard?
U.S. dollar is the standard currency in America. The CD is the standard currency in Ghana.
Right.
That doesn't mean that it's not money. You can't say it's a hoax. Standard just means what is recognized as like the going test.
Right. But the ELISA, the
Okay.
test, what's at the back? What are those disclaimer at the back of the test? What does it say? There's four
Yeah, I
two
just
lines at the
told
top.
you. Okay. I'm a teacher, so I'm trying to break it down as much as possible.
But what
so
is the
when
quote?
they say
What is the
standard,
actual
that doesn't
quote?
mean that something is false.
Right.
It just means that, so with measurement, like I was trying to say, we use inches here.
Yeah.
In other countries, they use centimeters or
Yes.
meters.
Yes.
It doesn't mean meters is wrong. It doesn't mean inches is wrong. It's just that inches is not the standard universally. Universally,
Universally, I got you.
Universal. Yeah.
Right.
So you can look that up. So
Right.
so now we're going to say inches is a hoax?
Right.
No, it's just not the universal standard.
Right, I understand. But Cole, I have another question for you. And I'm happy that you're in the field, so you could probably shed some light on. There's a lot of people out there right now that are dying from HIV because they don't have a lot of knowledge on it. But here's my question to you, as best as you could answer the question, right? Do you know that HIV, right, has a U.S. patent?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, when you start going into how it was created and developed in the biomedical warfare, that's something completely different.
Right. Well, no, that needs to be spoken
Yeah.
about as well, because if from Nature Boy's point of view, I could understand if he's saying that, okay, HIV was created in a lab, hence the reason why HIV it has a U.S. patent. I mean, if you go to the U.S. patent website.
Okay, well then that shows it even more proof of being real. If it has a patent and there are antibodies that are specific to the HIV virus, then it's real.
Right. It was created. So again, listen, if it has a patent, that means that someone created it, someone have ownership to it. If
not necessarily.
But if I create a business trademark, a logo, right, and that's just a pushback. I created a logo. I patterned that logo. I own the logo, right? If you use the logo unauthorized to me, then you gotta pay me, right? Because you use my pattern. So if HIV is patterned to a particular individual, that means that whenever that comes up, whenever it is used, or I don't know whenever it is used, but the profit and the funds and the monies behind it go to a particular individual.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So let me just say two different things. Okay, are we talking about it is a hoax, meaning you can't test it during an ELISA test, or are we talking about the development and how it was created? Which one? Because you can't jump back and forth.
No, I'm jumping forth now. We already got to the point.
Okay. Now, as far as it being patent, Zika virus was patent. There are a lot of viruses that was patent based on the scientists, researchers that seen it in a lab or seen the antibodies in the lab. It could have been created, developed, or just found it.
Right. Right. No, he was created, so he has a patent, right? So there's so much things that needs to be learned about HIV. The other question that I have for you, right? If HIV, the virus infects the white blood cells, the immune system, right? Right?
Okay.
Now I'm asking, the white blood cells. The fighter cells.
Well, I deal with the testing of it.
Or the testing. Okay. But here's
Yeah,
what
I deal with the testing.
Okay. So here's where I'm getting at, right? And again, it's just some thought. It's just some food for thought, right? If the HIV virus defeat the white blood cells, the T cells, the fighter cells, then there is knowledge as to what exactly is happening. The T cells are being damaged. So it would be I guess it would be right or correct that to fix the problem is to strengthen the white blood cells. So if you want to get...
Well, that's why Dr. Sebi have the alkaline diet,
Right.
in which he cured HIV. Yeah.
Right. So if there are right now herbal remedies or herbal plants that someone could take to increase and strengthen the white blood cells. But why is it not being used, but instead so much of the other products, the other commercial products that are being sold and given to HIV patients? So it comes back to the same thing. If it's a patent, then somebody making money from it. Again, that's just a pushback.
I think that there's a misconception when you say patent also. I mean, I'm not going to tell you information I don't know. It could have been created, could not. But when you say patent, it doesn't necessarily mean something was created and developed. It could have been founded.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's as far as I could take it. Just some food for thought, just a pushback. Some people might.
But I just want you to know one thing.
Yeah.
When there is a virus antigen that enters someone's body, the test is not looking for the antigen. It's looking for the antibodies that your body creates out of the proteins.
Right.
You are aware of that, right? Antibodies form all around the virus.
I don't know much about. I don't listen. I haven't studied it as much as you have studied it before. But what I'm saying, just taking from a layman's point of view, I'm saying that if it's defeating the white blood cells, then strengthen the white blood cells. Give the white blood cells
as
some
far as
strength
like
to
Magic
fight
Johnson,
again.
his T cell level is so high that it's not detectable.
Right. But
his T cell levels are really high. I don't know what type of medication or natural remedy, but his T cells are very high. So
yeah,
there must be some type of medication for rich people. I don't know. But as far as detection, it's definitely detectable.
I appreciate your input, call. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for calling and lending your input to the conversation. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, listen. All I'm saying is, this is just a pushback. I think that there's a lot more that could be said. There's a lot more conversation that needs to be looked at. I mean, I'm not saying that HIV is a hoax. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if this is the situation, this is the case, and there's more to it. There's more to it. They're saying here that the virus is an RNA that invades your cell and changes your DNA. Right. So in order to get in order to fight the HIV, you have to find the bad cell, the bad part of the DNA, right? And that's a difficult part. That's a difficult thing. There's a lot more that needs to be worked out here, talked about. Please enlighten me. What did I miss? You missed a lot. You missed a lot. Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank our guests for coming on. Nature Boy, thank you so much for accepting our invitation once again to be on the program. Enough respect. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of the program here. Don't forget that like this page right here, right along. We're here weekdays, Monday to Friday, weekdays. Also, we're on YouTube as well. Go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Right along live on YouTube. Jarrett, I wasn't ready for that one.